In the last year or so, with the Digimon Fusion Battles introduction draft being found and shown off by Moonmist Blue on Twitter, it got me thinking about what else could possibly be Digimon Lost Media, or what pieces of Digimon media are in danger of becoming lost media. So let's look at some of these examples of potentially lost Digimon media, or various pieces of media that are possibly at risk of becoming so. First up, I want to talk about basically any old Digimon-related commercial from the early 2000s. While there are a lot of these on YouTube, there are a few, particularly ones that aren't from America, but have just been, hopefully not, but likely so, lost to time. I've spoken a bit about a particular Australian Digimon commercial, or what I believe to be an Australian Digimon commercial, that I've mentioned many times in the past, specifically when I was covering weird and bizarre and wacky Australian Digimon commercials. And this is one where the pets are being dressed up as Digimon. I've only been able to find screenshots, which is thanks to Superstellar Aussie D on Twitter, and this is the only proof that I have that I'm not just making it up, or that it wasn't a false memory, or something that I'm misremembering, or something that I thought was Digimon related but actually wasn't. But no, they were dressing them up as Digimon. We have a dog being Metal Garurumon, a pig being Patamon, and a cat being Tailmon, to name a few. So we do have the screenshots that prove that I'm not going completely insane, or at least not in this specific case. So we do know that it does exist because we have these screenshots, and these match my memory and my description as I went over in that older video. I even said that there was a pig or a chihuahua dressed as Patamon, and yes, it turned out to be a pig. So this ad, I believe that it was promoting the Digifix sort of holographic cards / Tarzos that were found in crisp packets in, I want to say, either late 2001 or early 2002. And my reasoning there is because these cards featured characters from Digimon Adventure 02, which, according to an old magazine, initially aired on Fox Kids in Australia in about July or June 2001. So if it was promoting these characters, I doubt that it would have been prior to that. It very well could have been, but it would be weird for them to show Shurimon, for example, when the show hasn't even come out yet. So I have a feeling it's to promote the crisp packet. I could be completely wrong. It could be promoting literally anything else regarding Digimon. But in terms of the way it feels like it's a food commercial, in my old video I did mention how it had a fairly similar feel to the Tip Top and Meadow Lee Digimon collaborations, where they had stickers or cards within those food packets. I feel like it has a similar sort of feeling to those commercials. So that's the first commercial I just wanted to talk about, one that I have been scrubbing through various VHS uploads on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, mainly YouTube, and I've not had any luck. I've been scrolling through the segment of free-to-air television that Digimon aired, which was Cheese TV on Channel 10, and I've been scrubbing through there about that sort of year range to see if I could find it, but I haven't had any luck. So hopefully it's not lost to time. Hopefully someone does have it on a VHS somewhere, but it's sadly maybe possibly lost media. I've been hunting this particular commercial down for quite a while, and I've not had any luck. So if you're able to find it, you will be my favorite person in the entire world, because I've exhausted all of my options in terms of where I've been hunting for this ad, or at least what's on YouTube currently. Then there's another Australian commercial, again, what I believe to be an Australian exclusive commercial, and it's one that I swear was on YouTube maybe 10 years ago, but can't be found anymore, and it's one that other people are also been looking for as well, and it's probably for the Digimon virtual pets. So I believe we had a different commercial than the one that America got, because America just got the version 1 original Digimon Virtual Pet. In Australia, we got the versions 1 to 6, as well as the Pendulum Cycles, which was 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it could have been a commercial for the later versions that didn't see a release in America. So this one had the line, "Have you little monsters been fighting again?" Now, that's not a line that's in the American one, but it just is in my head somewhere, and clearly a lot of other people remember this line as well. The thing is, and this is something that's rather interesting, that in the last few years, Bandai Asia has actually used this line in their marketing for the modern releases of the Digimon Virtual Pets, that being the version 20th and the DMX. They have the line, "Have you little monsters been fighting again?" So it clearly was something that Bandai themselves advertised, because it's something that they're clearly aware of if they're using this line specifically in Bandai Australia's marketing, where if this ad could have been from Bandai Asia because we did get the Bandai Asia stock, or if it's just a Bandai Australia line, I'm not sure, but it is interesting to note that the modern releases had this in their marketing. But again, I couldn't find this ad. I was fairly certain that it was on YouTube. I was saying until quite recently, oh, it's on YouTube, but then when I went to look for it, it's actually not. So it could be for anything, again, Digimon related, could be for the old card game, could be for any of the toys, but I have a feeling it's for the virtual pets, particularly because the Digimon 20th and the DMX are all referencing this line in particular, which is just kind of a funny thing there. So those are the two commercials that I am sadly starting to consider being lost media. Other than the screenshots of the first one and the fact that Bandai Australia references the second one, there's little to go on about what was the content of these ads. But yeah, sadly, they might be lost. And similarly, any other region-exclusive commercials that aren't Japanese or from the US seem to be lost. There's lots of ads that are from Digimon releases online from Japan and from the US, but in terms of more international releases, there doesn't seem to be much to go on there, which is a shame. It might be, both of these might be living on someone's VHS tape somewhere, I don't know, but at the moment I can't find them, and I'm very sad about it. Next up, we have the Legendary Skies Manhua, which is something that I've spoken about a few times, so I won't go into too much detail, but what this is a Frontier sequel that never actually got completed and was only released in Chinese, in China, as a manhwa. So it never got an international release like the other manhwas that we saw for the manga versions of Adventure, 02, Tamers, and Frontier. This one never got a release, but again, it never actually finished. So why is this lost media? Well, it seems that chapters 3 to 9 used to be uploaded on some Chinese website. However, the website was shut down, and seemingly no one cared to really host backups of these chapters other than what can be found online in places like archive.org. Otherwise, and I got this in comments on my videos about Legendary Skies, but a lot of people were asking, hey, does anyone know where chapters 3 to 9 can be read? And this is my answer. Apparently they're just also lost. I'm hoping, again, someone has a backup of these, but I'm not too hopeful for this, unfortunately. So there's another one that is potentially lost. And in regards to something else that was also region exclusive, the various old Japan-only phone games and the browser-based games that were released, like the IC tie-in Digimon Pocket Wars that worked with the original Digimon window, and of course Pendulum Revive and Survive. Of course, there are also various modern phone games such as Digimon Heroes that are lost to time, with newer ones like Lynx and Rearise having private servers but with limited gameplay. So a lot of these phone game releases, especially the older Japan exclusive ones, are sadly lost to time and only have various images on the internet of their functionality, which means, and in the case of the Digimon window, that some functionality is actually lost for that release, especially the Digimon Pocket Wars tie-in mons you could get on the Digi window. So that is a shame. And then in terms of the anime releases, this has a very big asterisk before I go into it. So I'm about to talk about the Digimon movies in English. They might get remastered, like we saw with the first 3 movies getting remastered and redone recently, just in the US. So this could age very poorly. This could be completely just shot into the air of like, hey, look, this exists. But at the time of recording this, which is late August 2023, the English releases of Revenge of Diaboromon, along with the Tamers and Frontier direct-to-TV movies in English, are in danger of becoming lost media. You can find these at the moment by Googling, and it's a case of the only way to watch them in English is to pirate, which feels like it's something that the company being Toei wouldn't want us to do, but unfortunately if we want to watch them, we have to pirate them. So hopefully they just get remastered, but as of recording this, there's been no news about that. There's also the English intro for the first episode of Digimon Adventure 02, which has a Where Are They Now? Talking about the cast of the first season of Digimon Adventure. Now, this wasn't actually included in any of the English DVD releases of the series, and I've heard that it's not on the Hulu version, which is an American streaming service which has Digimon. Apparently, again, I'm not American, so I can't confirm that, but apparently the Hulu intro for this is also gone. However, it is likely that it will be on the US remasters by Discotek when they come out, but as of recording this, it hasn't been on anything except for the Japanese versions, which is a shame because I really loved the Where Are They Now intro at the start of 02. And then, of course, also talking about the anime, we have any original airing of the series if they change anything in any subsequent airings or reruns of particular episodes. So, for example, there are cases of Snowbottomon and Golemon being called Rockmon and Yukimi Bottomon, and then not being called that name in the versions that are more seen today. In fact, the only screenshots that I could find of Snowbottomon being called Snowbottomon is from a very, 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 very low quality screenshot from what looks to be a VHS recording. So in terms of any original airings of a show, those are obviously lost unless they were used in any VHS recording or any subsequent release. But if they change anything for future recordings, they would use those up-to-date versions rather than the original. So that is something that else has the possibility of being lost or is just found on the internet kind of in really low quality. The amount of copyright claims that go on mean that any TV-only recordings in general are hard to come by. Again, the Digimon movies, Revenge of Diaboromon, and the Tamers and Frontier movie, those ones are currently not available legally. They were direct-to-TV only. They never got a physical home release. So anything that was TV only, same with commercials, has a danger of becoming lost media unless someone was recording it on their VHS and has since digitized it and not just thrown away the VHS recording, which I'm going to assume happened with lots of VHS recordings, or you taped over it with your family holiday, or the other way round. Maybe you taped over your family holiday or birth of your child with Digimon. It could be any of those things. That was kind of a danger of the time, but it's kind of beautiful in a way that it's this bygone era of VHS recordings, which I'm fairly nostalgic about. And in fact, going back through these old commercials on VHS recordings did make me remember how weirdly horrifying advertising was in that period of the early 2000s, late 90s. They CGI animated things that just did not look good, like chicken munchies or the Cadbury Dairy Milk ads, where everything was made out of chocolate, so they would just commit vor on each other. You'd bite your dog, you'd bite your car, you want the shark to bite you because you're made of chocolate. It was really weird. And then there was also the Cadbury weird ad where it was just kids with dancing eyebrows. I don't know, it's horrifying, but it's slightly nostalgic to go through all those and revisit these memories, even though I didn't find the commercials I was looking for. Then there was also the Crunchyroll Digimon Try contest winners video that was shown at this one night only screening for the dub of the first Try movie. The compilation video apparently hasn't been seen since, but it has been considered partially found because there are various entries into this competition that are still active in the community altogether. So the part of the community, as in Aussie D, who helped me find the screenshots for the commercial that lives rent-free in my brain, was actually one of the contest winners, so that's pretty cool. But in terms of the entire compilation video, that hasn't been found just yet. It hasn't been seen since this one night only screening, which is pretty interesting. There's also in general anything that's digital only, so anything that is currently available on streaming services but not available in home release, that always has a potential of just vanishing into thin air. If it's not on any streaming services and it's digital only, how are you going to purchase it? Which is why I always think things should be digital and physical, because physical, it's harder to just lose once the streaming rights are gone. And I say this because the Ghost Game series never got a physical home release like Colon did, like Atmon did, at least they did in Japan. Speaking of which, Colon also, the dub for Colon didn't get a physical release, and at the moment, as of recording this, is only digital in North America. So those sort of things make me kind of concerned. I know it's very unlikely that a Digimon series will just vanish, but it's why I'm kind of an advocate for having things physically and not just digitally, because you can digital things, like, you can just blow them away and then just never seen again. So it's weird that we haven't got a home release for Ghost Game. I'm sure we will at some point for some anniversary, but as of recording this, we don't at the moment, which is weird because we got one for Colon, we got one for Atmon, and we've had one for every Digimon series since. It's weird that we didn't get one for Ghost Game. It's kind of like Toei just aired Ghost Game and then just forgot about its entire existence, which they did do with Atmon, but at least Atmon got a physical home release, even if it was just DVD only. And now, lastly, there's also the Digimon magazines, which is my opportunity to say, if you have any of the Australian Digimon magazines, hit me up, because I'm trying to hunt them down, because I find them charming, and I also collect them. I've mentioned them many times before, big fan of them. Anything, like, while I said physical is typically good, and you can't lose physical, these magazines could potentially be at risk of becoming lost, because people just will throw away kids' magazines, because they're kind of, they're just little paper with that sort of glossy front magazines. You can throw them away, you can recycle them, which I'm sure many did, and that's just my opportunity to talk about the Digimon magazines, because I love them so. So overall, the series doesn't have too much in terms of currently lost media, but it does have various pieces and bits that are in danger of becoming lost media. And with various digital-only releases, it means that there's more a danger of becoming lost to time in the future. And of course, with things that were region exclusive, like specific commercials, those also are at risk or are lost media. So I just thought I'd go over those little bits and pieces. This was a different kind of video to research. It was a little bit sad to research, but in terms, it was kind of fun. So let me know any of the pieces of lost media, or things that you believe to be lost media, or things that are just in general danger of becoming lost media. Talk with me about them in the comment section below. Like this video to fuel my hope that I'll find those commercials one day. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your neighbours, tell your enemies, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!